Good morning! It's still a sunny Ottawa morning, and I am going to be working with you today on something that a lot of people ask me about, which is movements in our piping tunes. So we learn our grace notes, we play them singly or together in a movement, and identifying them in the music is something that we need to always look for, especially at the beginning. Over time, you'll see that the groupings take a certain shape. And when you see that shape in the tune, that's when you say, aha. And you say, aha, that's a throw. Aha, that's a strike. That's a doubling. And where they fall on the music starts to make better sense. So accuracy is always very important. So I've done this sheet, sort of a synopsis of some of the movements that we're going to be playing. So that's on this particular post. So print this off if you can, and we're going to go through it, and we're going to look at the different items. We don't even necessarily have to play them. We have to just look at them and say, okay, what do I know? What do I need to know? And let's go from here. So we're going to start from the very beginning. Single grace notes. Obviously, with only 9 notes on the chanter, we need to get creative with how we make the tunes more interesting. Hold right there. Back again. Had to go grab my chanter. So we're going to start with our basic grace notes. Once again, with the basic notes that we have on the bagpipe. We have 9 notes to make the tunes interesting and to get us up and down the scale with different kinds of levels of difficulty or simplicity. We're going to use our basic grace notes. So the first ones we have on the sheet are the G, D, and E grace notes. So it's important to memorize those. Remember, you're going to be using index finger on the left, index finger on the right, and then your ring finger. I always think top, bottom, middle, and actually sing them that way. Top, bottom, middle, top, bottom, middle. That's the way the order goes. Do it like in a circle, starting from the top. Those are your basic grace notes, and that's the order in which we play them most frequently. Starting with the G, then the second one's going to be D, third one E. So keep that in mind. When in doubt, either leave it out or play a basic G grace note. But remember to always go back to your music and check to see what you need. So the second item on this sheet is called doublings. Now, when I was coming up as a new piper, I would look at that and go, okay, you're calling it double, and double to me means 2. And I would see 3 grace notes. But I wouldn't speak up and say anything, and it wasn't until much later on when I realized, okay, I get it now. It's double because you're playing 2 grace notes, the middle one being just a theme note that happens in between the other 2. So it's important to keep that in mind, that the middle note is your theme note. But that's also where you're going to land on the beat. That note in the middle is the beat note, not the one at the end. So it's important to remember that for timing in your music. The third item is your strike. Strike is to hit. Well, we had a G grace note before, beep, and then we have a doubling, beep, beep. Now we have a strike, bip, tap, bip, tap. Strike is to hit, hence the term strike. But the grace notes are always going to be spaced the same and played the same. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Tick, tick is more I would say. Tick, tick. Same height, therefore the same length. Next, throws on the D. G, D, C, D. Play them from any note in the scale. We don't really play them from the low G, but you may see them in some tunes. The odd one now and then. Practice them. I'm going to tip this down. G. That's your anchor note, so make sure the G is nice and true and strong. The next item is your grip or the lumlua. It goes by both names, so we're going to call it by both. As you can see here, I just wrote out the grip without the theme note on either side, and it's. You can do them from any note in the scale. And for some reason in piping, when you do a grip or a torlua, which is the movement underneath, you have to use a B grace note. I don't know why. Now, if you look on the sheet, you'll see that right underneath the grip is a torlua. Torlua is basically a grip with a G grace note at the beginning and E grace at the end. So you've gone from this to D, C, E, okay? Make sure that you can hear the grip in the center and that, again, the low Gs are the anchor notes in your particular torlua. And then the last item on the sheet is the burl. Burls always played low A. So you might see them written simply, or from another note. They'll look more menacing in the music if they have the low A written in front, because you have to come down from a note and then play the A and then go tip tap. But remember, there's more than one way to play a burl. So if you're in need of help, give me a shout and I'll show you that way. So enjoy your movements. Play them. This is the bread and butter of your tunes. If you can play these well, you can play any tune well. So take your time and make it count. Keep practicing.